Okay. Fuck, fuck. Oh. Oh ja. Yep. Bye?
On.
Okay.
But what?
That was my fault.